Hey, we are the Hatchett Chronicles. I'm Terry Hatchett,
Like they
and
don't know that. I'm Frank. GL, y'all. That's what I'm saying.
we do this
Whatever.
every every episode, and you don't
What's
know what
good,
you're
y'all?
supposed
What's
to do
good,
right
y'all?
now. Okay, so we are on season 2, episode 3 of the Hatchet Chronicles. We're coming to you live. Our topic today is what, baby? Are you ready for the
The
one?
one.
Okay. Um, First, let me do a couple of plugs in there. Shout out to everybody who supported us and everything like that. I have a book coming out. Not too many people know about it, but I wrote a book. It will be coming soon, so please look for it. It's called The Power of God.
Yo.
And I just want to give a shout out and ask y'all to please support me. This is the first time me writing a book. God led me to write it, as He does with me with everything. And I'm not a writer, but I guess God said I was going to be the author of this book. I want to shout out to Soak, Sis
Cuz, what's happening, Joe?
organization. And so just say, support Soap is Sisters of All Kinds. It's in New Jersey. It's based in New Jersey. The founder
That's
is
a dope
Audrey.
movement.
Um,
Bethea. Thunder
Bethea,
Bethea on
yeah.
on Facebook.
She's doing some beautiful things for the women
Yeah, it's definitely dope.
In Newark, East Orange area. And also shout out to my sister Val. Her second book is coming out soon.
Yes, sis.
So the first one was the book club, and this is the book club too. So I'm giving shout outs to her.
I want to give a couple shouts too, man, before we start. I want to shout out my SMG fam. You know what I mean? Smooth the Hustler. Trigger the Gambler. My brother.
Hey.
That's listen, man. Y'all have no idea. That's my brother. You hear me? From another mother. That's how we get it down. And shout out to Ice T too. You know what I mean? SMG family. I want to shout out my man, Doc Bundini. That dude been holding me down for a long time. And just real quick, I'm doing a project and I sent him some music and he sent me the music back. And, of course, I just had a tragedy. I just lost my sister. And this dude did a whole verse about me, man. And, the verse it touched my heart. I just want to say, yo, Doc, man, I love you, man. And I appreciate you for that, man. Real rap. And that's it with my shout outs. Everybody else, y'all know I love you. And it is what it is, but I just needed to do those 2 shout outs real quick.
As y'all can see, we have Untapped Talent Recording. That is our record label. It comes under the umbrella of JG Hatchett LLC Entertainments. And so we just want to let y'all know to please support. Support.
We got a lot of things coming.
Yeah, we got a lot of things coming up down the pike, as my husband would say. So please, look out for us. Look out for some of the things that we're doing.
Oh, and shout out my man H.
Oh, definitely.
H. Williams.
Definitely.
Shout out my man H.
Definitely.
Williams.
Definitely.
You understand? Like, that's my partner. Like, dude, you know what it is. We're doing a project, too. It's called Beats and Bars. I know y'all saw a little bit of advertisement for it. So, keep your eyes peeled. We're going to keep doing advertisements and stuff like that. And when it drops, you'll be able to get this CD on every stream site there is. Every platform where you can stream music, you'll be able to get this CD. So just keep your eyes peeled, man. Keep listening. We're going to keep throwing some things out there, little, here and there. But the project is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So y'all know what it is.
Okay, so now on to our subject.
Stanley Clark, what's happening?
The reason why I chose this subject, are you ready for the one? Because we have I have a lot of friends who are wondering, why can't I find the right one? Or, going through, life is short and everybody's looking for love or looking for that companionship. And one of the things that God put on my heart is that, it's not just about, well, my husband always said you shouldn't look for love, and that's where you make your mistake. And so a lot of our friends are like, y'all have a beautiful relationship, I'm looking for love like that. I want love like that. But a lot don't know our story. We had to be prepared for each other. God prepared us for each other. It wasn't like we just came together and everything just clicked. God was working on me, because I'll be honest with y'all, I was something else before.
It's definitely been a process.
Yeah, I was.
Both ends.
First of all, I wasn't going to get married again, because this is both our second marriages, and I just thought, okay, I'm not going to find the one, and I'm not going to look for the one. And so it was like I was done, and I wasn't thinking about marrying anyone anymore.
Agree for me.
Yeah, this is our third one for both of us, but the real one this time, because God prepared us.
Oh, yo.
So the question is, are you ready for the one? Because it's a process. You can't just say, okay, I'm looking for somebody, and then, you get with that someone and you're not prepared within yourself. You don't love yourself, right. Or you're having issues within yourself that you're not sharing. You have to allow God to prepare you for the one. A friend of mine and I talk about this all the time.
Stan, I got you.
One of the questions was, why am I finding the same type of man? And my question to her was, what is it inside of you that makes you find that same type of man? You have to look inside yourself before you attempt to go out there and find somebody for you.
You know what? I think basically that in that situation, what you need to do is clean your slate, right? And once you clean your slate and work on yourself and figure it out and find out and, do all the necessary things that you need to do to say, okay, now I'm ready, right? Then you'll know exactly what road to take. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't, if you're jumbled up inside and don't know what the next move is, if your mind is cloudy, you don't know what the next move is, you keep making those choices over and over and over, and keep selecting the same type of people over and over and over, and you'll keep having failed relationships, failed marriages, and all of that. Once you find your way and you find what you need to have, then that's when you can walk that road the right way. But at the same time, you need to ask God first. Because you can't you can't find love. You can't look for love. That's not going to happen. I don't know if you saw our last Chronicles last week, but I said that last week. You can't look for love. You can't. You can't. You can't do it. You'll find infatuation or lust, but you can't look for love. You have to have love come to you, and you'll know when it's genuine. You'll feel it. You won't have to say it all the time. It'll exude through you. You'll shine all the time. And every time people see you, wow, look at this guy. Wow, look at this young lady. You're always shining. You're always smiling. You're always feeling good. You always got something nice to say, because love makes you do that. Love it conquers all things.
One of the things, bouncing off of what my husband said about clean slate, people that know me know that I advocate celibacy. And the reason why I do is, and trust me, when I was when I was younger, celibacy was furthest from my mind. Trust when I say, and I never would have thought that God would have took me through celibacy because I was sort of, let's just say, a hot mama. And
what's up, Jamie?
we're gonna leave it like that, a hot mama. Okay, which really mean was a hot mess, what that really means. And I saw something Sis actually showed me, Juanita Bynum, No More Sheets. And I say this, I'm talking to not just my sisters, because it seems to be, to me, just my opinion, that it's easier for women to be celibate than it is for men. But celibacy is not about, a lot of people think, abstaining from sex. It's more than that. It is, trust me when I say it is not, it's a whole cleansing of the mind, body, and spirit. It has nothing, sex is a small part of what you're abstaining from. Trust me. It's opening you up. In No More Sheets, it talks about how you can be filled up, especially for the women. We're deposits, and the men deposit their spirit in us, and everybody else who they've been with, spirit has gotten deposit. And it's hard for you to have room for the one if you're all filled up with other spirits. So you have to kind of clean yourself out. For the men, I have a friend, a very close friend of mine. I'm not naming names, but he's a male, and he told me the other day that he was celibate, which I was so happy for him. The reason why is because I feel like it is harder for men. But
it's hard, but you know what? It's hard, but that sounded real crazy. It's hard, but it's a family show. Chill.
Hard.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're done. Cut.
It's hard, but the thing about it is you have to know where you are mentally. You understand what I'm saying? You have to know where you are mentally to be able to combat the feeling, to be able to combat the lust, to be able to combat just that, the feeling of wanting to be touched or wanting to touch, or, you understand? Mentally, you have to be correct in order to combat that. So when it comes to being celibate for a man, you know what I mean? We freaks all day, freaking nature, whatever you want to call it.
Freaking nature.
Yeah, jump off the ceiling and, you know what I mean, ride on the, whatever, crazy. But you got to mentally be prepared to want to deal with celibacy and understand what it's for. It's a cleansing of your soul. It's a cleansing of your body. It's a cleansing of your mind. And once you get into that so that you can cleanse yourself, because it's for the betterment of thyself, not, for, someone else's purpose. It's for your own purpose, to clean yourself. You know what I mean? So the celibacy is a good thing. And I don't know how we got on that subject.
Because that's the part of being prepared for the one. Yeah. Because,
Okay. Here's something. What is the one? I'll do you one better. How do you know when it's the one?
I think that if you're cleared out, God will direct you to the one. That's why I said you have to be prepared within yourself.
Okay, but once you're prepared within yourself, how do you know for yourself that's the one?
That's the fact check of God. I remember when we first met, you told me God said that you was going to be my wife. And I said to you, God didn't tell me that. But it was up to me, like you told me. You said, okay, well, all I can tell you was pray on it. It's up to us to fact check with God. And that was one of the things that we talked about last week. And I talk about this in my book also, The Power of God, because what I was under the consensus of, everybody that know me know that I didn't believe in praying for a man. I didn't even talk to God about a man because it was like taboo for me. It was like talking to a parent about sex. So I never talked to God about a man. And when you came along and you said, God told me that you were my wife, and I said to you, you know, well, he didn't tell me that, but I was already prepared to. You told me, well, all I can tell you is pray on it. That was my first time going down on my knees and really talking to God about a man. I was fact checking. I wasn't going to God and praying for a man, but it's okay for me to ask God, you know, is this who you really sent me? I say in my book, I use an example as, you know, no, I still don't believe a woman should pray for a man. But if the man is the one that God tells who's right for which woman he should be with, we have to, as women, we have to fact check. It's like this. It's like God might say, okay, your wife is got on a red hat, a black dress, and red shoes. Well, a man might be so excited, or he might not be to that level with God where he hears the whole thing. He might just hear black dress. He might not hear the red hat and red shoes. So he'll pick the first woman with a black dress on. It's up to her to fact check and go to God and say, okay, God, he said that you told me that I was, you told him that I was the one for him. I'm fact checking that. If a woman fact checks that, she will know, okay, well, I don't have on red shoes or a red hat. I got on black shoes. Right. So it's up to us to fact check, not ask, you know, not go and pray for a man, but say, you know, hey, God, you know, I'm coming to you. If this is right, if this man is who you have for me, then give me a sign or whatever, or show me, or whatever it takes, whatever your relationship is with God, that's what you ask for. When me and you got together, I went down on my knees for the first time and asked God, you know, is this right? Is this who you're having for me? And I prayed up until the day we got married. God, if this ain't right, you know, if I'm wrong about this, please give me a sign. You know, let me know if this is the right one. And so I was fact checking. So that's how you know, because God had already cleared my way for you, but I had to fact check to make sure that you were the one that he had cleared the way for me. Had I not prepared myself before you came along, then I wouldn't even been at that point. I wouldn't even known to take it to God. I wouldn't even known to fact check, you know, but he had cleared me so that opened up that pathway so that we could have that communication so that I did know that you were the right one.
Well, you know, that's good. But you know, the thing is this: when you know someone is for you, it feels good.
So I asked you that question.
When you're with them, it feels good.
Let me throw that question back on you as a man, because you know, I'm speaking from a woman's point of view.
I understand the fact checking point and all of that.
No, how do you know? Like, how did you know that God told you that I was gonna be your wife? How did you know that I was the one? What made you so sure that I was the one?
You really asking me that?
Yeah, because I'm not for me, because I already know, but for the Hatchett Chronicles fans out there.
Because I'm me.
Maybe. But what about the people who don't know you?
Y'all know how I give it up.
Maybe
you know what I'm saying?
God help me.
Y'all know how I give it up. I already knew.
I can't with this man.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you elaborate?
All I had to do was, and it was there for me.
Whatever. Can you elaborate? That's not true. I can't. Don't. You know what? We're gonna exit that whole. I'm gonna edit that whole.
No, we edit nothing. We ain't got nothing to help. You know what? I knew you were for me through conversation, through our beliefs in God, and just through my time and my personal time talking with God. That's how I knew. And then to even go a step further, I knew because every time I was around you, it felt good. And it's been the same feeling since the beginning. We've been together 2 years and not had one argument. We have not had an argument. Do you understand what a blessing that is?
Yes, I do. But here's the thing. Okay, so for those of you who don't know the story,
No,
I'm not. Just hear me out. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. But here it is. Okay, so we've known each other for 7 years. Okay, so for the first 5 years, we were feeling each other, but we never connected. I never approached him. He never approached me.
Right.
But we were feeling each other. I didn't know he was feeling me. He didn't know I was feeling him.
Right.
So, God wasn't ready for it, because when we look back now, we look at all the signs that was there and was like, why didn't we catch on to this? I didn't catch on when you said this, or he didn't catch on when I said certain things, and I didn't catch on when he said certain things. And we laugh about some incidents that went down, some words I had said that to give him a hint he didn't catch on, and some things that he said to give me a hint and I didn't catch on. And we were wondering why we didn't catch on at the time. And what the conclusion we came to is because we wasn't ready for each other.
God wasn't ready.
Well, yeah.
He wasn't finished working with us.
Exactly.
That's why it didn't happen, because God wasn't finished working with us. Like you said earlier, he was preparing us for one another. You know what I mean? That's what that was. And my thing, you know what? Looking for the one. Here's the thing. This just came to me. God put this on my heart. If you're gonna pray for a man or a woman, you say, God, I need you to give me this person. I need this person. I need you to give me. I need you to give me. I want you to give me. I need to have. Right? If you ask and ask and ask, there's, the saying, be careful what you ask for. Right? Number one. Number two, when you ask, do you understand that there's a part that you have to play in receiving that? You might say, God, I want this woman. She's the woman for me. Give me this woman, Lord. And he said, okay, you want her? You got her. So now, you get that confirmation. That doesn't mean you go in the bathroom, shower up, brush your teeth, all that. And when you march downstairs and open up your front door, she's going to be standing there with a bucket of goodies, or with a basket of candy and bread. No. You might have to go downstairs, walk to the bus stop, catch 7 buses in one direction, 2 trains in another direction. You understand what I'm saying? A mule in another direction, and go around some stuff you really don't want to be around. And like, you have to go through some things in order to get what you want. And so my thing is, are you prepared for the one? But it's preparing yourself and enduring yourself through the time to get to the one. You understand what I'm saying? Can you endure what you have to endure to get to the one? If that one is for you, if you got to hop a barbed wire fence and you have to do that, are you prepared to hop that fence to get to that one? You know what I'm saying? If you might have to go and talk to some people that you ridicule and talked about, are you prepared to stand in front of them and apologize and speak with them to get to that one? Because you're going to have a test. You're going to have a test. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to have a test. And are you willing to endure what you need to endure in order to get to your one? So I said that to say, if you're looking for the one and you want the one, you got to be careful of how you ask for it. You have to be sure mentally in your own mind that this is what you want, and say, I got to prepare myself for whatever it is that comes with that for me to get the one.
And know that it might not be tomorrow.
It might not be for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
It might not be for 7 years.
And that's because you're not ready. God's going to give you what God gives you. He's so good that he gives you what you need and what you want. But he tries to prepare you for it. It's just about listening and understanding and following his steps, his path of preparing you. Like I said, he prepared us. I went through some things months before he actually approached me and said, God said you was going to be my wife. And it was at one point, it was like, I stopped fighting against the grain, because a lot of times I fought against the grain with God. And this is also in my book, The Power of God. Get that book. Y'all going to enjoy it. Look out for this book. But I said in the book that I was ordained minister for 9 years before him and I got together. But my relationship with God became stronger through being with him and understanding what God was speaking to me, because I was the type who I knew God, but I was like, okay, I know what you're saying to me, God. Let me, I hear you, but let me go over here for a minute. I know you're right, but I just want to go over here and I'll see, and I'll get right back with you. And then when things didn't work out because I didn't do as according to what he told me to do, then I would come crying, oh God, why me, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't listening to him in the first place. He told me in the beginning, but I wanted to go over here and see what was over here first. And just like praying for a man, it was like, I didn't believe in praying for a man, but I was quick to go to God. Why is this man like this? God, change him. Instead of realizing I never went to him in the first place and asked him about the man. But now I'm coming to him, asking him to change this man or help this man so that I could be with him. And I never even got confirmation from God whether I was supposed to be with him. So
that's deep.
Yeah. So knowing when preparing yourself for the one is a part of it's this path that you walk down. This path might, for some people, they might be able to walk down it in a day. For some people, they might be able to complete this in a month, or it might take 5 years. But it's all according to, one, your relationship with God, how much you listen to God, and
how much you pay attention to signs.
Yes, how much you're willing, like my husband said, to endure and go through that if this one is really the one. Another issue that came on my mind when you was talking about that, sometimes you'll pray for somebody and you'll be like, God, I want this person, and that person might not be the one for you, but because you keep asking God, God is just give it to you. He'll give you what you ask for. Yeah. Just like if you ask for a car, just give me a car. You didn't say what kind of car. You didn't even say if it could run or not.
If you say, give me a car, and you
he's going to give you a car.
God, he says, knock and you shall receive.
Yeah, he's going to give it to you.
Man, listen, if you knock, the door will be open. If you ask, you shall receive. You keep asking for a car, you'll get a car. It won't have no steering wheel, no tires on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because you didn't take the patience and the time to wait for. He had something for you, but you couldn't wait. You just give me. You're looking, So he gave you what you asked for, and it wasn't what you could have had. The right car, grand car for you, but you didn't have the patience. You didn't wait for it.
That's another thing too. I'm glad you said that. Patience is a virtue.
Yes, it is. Yes.
You need to have patience, not only with others, but you need to have patience with yourself. If you start with working on your patience, if you notice, things around you will be a lot easier and a lot more mellow to deal with. right? And I say that because, you know, if you, just like my wife said, if you rush, give me the car, give me the car, give me the car, you'll get a car. You'll get a car. But if you have patience and you sit back and wait and you just conform to things in your mind that need you to slow down, that need you to draw back, then you'll find getting closure or questions that need to be answered will be answered quickly. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, like if you just have some patience.
But I also think
don't
that's
rush.
a part of clearing yourself out, and that's why I
Right.
am an advocate for celibacy, only because it gives you that. It clears you and it opens you up to think. Like I was saying about my friend, before he's told me that, I already knew something had changed in him, because he was like, you know, I'm not looking, I ain't taking no drama. This is what I want. He was clear. You think clear. You know, you have released all these. You've given your self time to clear out all the mess, and you're focused. It gives you a focus, and you're not looking
really
at, you know, like for instance, we were celibate before we got married. And what that did was that left a clear path of, there was no confusion about how we felt. It wasn't a physical thing of, whereas, you know, well, oh, well, he's so good physically that I'll excuse it. I don't like this about him, but I'll excuse that because the physical is. It wasn't a confusion there, because all I had was just him and his quirks and whatever. There, I didn't know the physical. So I had to deal with what was in front of me. So
and see, and when you know that you know, and you ask those questions, right? And you don't taint what you have by having sex before it's that time, right? You'll know that this woman's sitting across from me, man. I love her with everything I am, right? And so, God forbid we get into something. We get into a car accident or something and she loses her leg. You know what I'm saying? Or lose her hand or arm or something. Would I still be there? Would I still love her the way that I love her right now? Even though that's not there, will I still love her wholeheartedly? Will I still, you know, like, will it still be the same? Right? So, yeah, it will be. Because, you know, I didn't have to spank cheeks and all of that.
Because the relationship wasn't built off of a physical.
It wasn't built off of that. It wasn't built off of lust. It wasn't built off of infatuation. It was built off of honesty, right? It was built off of the love that God has for the relationship He puts together. And my love for her and her love for me. Unconditional love. Untapped love. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I ain't.
That was good.
That was my freak. I know I still got it. But anyway, like, it's just, you have to know that, like, if that's the one, then you know, look, man, I know it's a family show, you know, but if I had to wipe her behind, I would. No, I'm just saying, because I know what I signed on for. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I asked God for, to somebody to just love me, for who I am, not for what I have, not for what I could give, no money, no accolades, not my resume, none of that. Just love me. When I sit on the bed next to you and just want to talk about anything, blabbering off or whatever, just love me for who I am, just for the person that I am. And I have that. And I would not give that up in a lifetime. I wouldn't give that up for nothing. I would not give this up for nothing.
And let me speak to that because again, with the celibacy, a lot of people, for instance, let's be honest, when we decided that we were going to get married and we was going to abstain from physical until after we said I do.
I slept in a bed with her.
Yeah,
man.
we slept in the same bed. And trust me, let me just put that out there. It was not easy, okay? It was not easy at all. But what I realized, and one of the things, this is what a friend said to me when I told a couple of my friends this, and I said, we're abstaining, we're going to be celibate until we get married. And they looked at me and they said, you? And they said, well, suppose it's not good, or suppose he's not the right size, and blah, blah, blah. And I allowed my friends to get in my head, because the first thing I did was I panicked, because I was like, oh my God, they're right. Oh, maybe he want to abstain because, he knows. And I went to him on it. And when I tell you that, and this is in my book also, when I tell you this man really made and I was an ordained minister, this man really brought my spirit and brought me closer to God by his answers he would give me. I asked him one night, and I said, well, what happens if we get married and we're not satisfied each other? And he said to me, well, if we are truly right and God said we were supposed to be together, then God will make all that right. We will be right. Everything will fall in place. And so that kind of made me have to go back to God, because every time I asked him a question or every time we talked, he would say, well, I don't have all the answers. Maybe you need to pray on it. And that was his answer. That's still his answer to me to this day. And so that made me have to solely depend on God on this relationship, and really look at myself, and really look at, because before this relationship, to me, my thing was sex is 50% of the relationship or 75% of the relationship. And I wasn't the type to not be with nobody before I married them or something like that, because I was like, I need to see what I'm getting myself into. And I'm just being real, that's honest. But
I mean, anybody want to test drive the car before they buy it.
But what you realize, that if you're solely dependent on God, then you don't need to.
That's not even an equation.
Yeah, that's not an equation, because the car that he puts you in, trust me, it's going to be the one. Yes, it's going to be the right one for you.
There's no such thing as we're not compatible when we lay down to make love. There's no such thing as.
No, it's not, baby. We are.
It's a family show.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. I just.
No, but it's really not, because if, like I said, if you ask God for, and this is what He's given you, and that it's right, then all of that. Is he too small? Does he ejaculate fast? Is he a minute man? All of those questions will be knocked out of your head, because God has given you something, it's unimaginable. God will give you something so beautiful. It's like the first time every time.
It's about trusting in God.
Right.
It's about trusting in God and knowing
letting Him guide you through this thing. And even now, even in our marriage, with our marriage, right? Like, she might ask me something, and I may think I have the answer, but if I waver on it, I'll answer it later. And I'm talking to God about it first. I don't want to make no move without consulting my Father first. I don't want to do anything outside of the box, inside of the box. I'm not going to put Him in a box. You understand what I'm saying?
Preach on that, baby,
Nah,
because that's what we do. We put God in the box and we say to God, oh, well, you know, God can do this, but he can't do that. It's just like me. I did it too. And like I said, I was an ordained minister. I did the thing whereas, well, I ain't going to find nobody. So I ain't going to, you know, I ain't worried about it because I'm never going to find the one. That was putting God in a box.
And you can't
because
do that.
You can't do that. God is, and my sister told me that. She was like, well, if you're so strong in God, how you going to say what God is going to do for you? And so it was like, that's why God had to work on me because trust me, he had to take me through some thing to make me see him, to make it, because like I said, I never prayed for a man. So how did I know that this one was for me or God was giving me what I needed in a man? But that's how my relationship, because God just don't give you one gift. He'll give you a big box. And I speak about this in my book also, The Power of God. He'll give you a big box. And you're thinking you're getting that one gift that you have prayed for. And in that one gift will be like 50 million blessings in that one box of what, because when God gave me my husband, he didn't just give me a husband. He gave me a husband that inside myself I had desired for, never asked God for, but God already knew. He also gave me the perfect, and I say the word perfect because those that know me know that I use certain words in a certain text. I believe in perfect because there is a definition for perfect. Perfect for me. He gave me the perfect in-laws. He gave me the perfect mother-in-law. He gave me the perfect brother-in-law and sisters-in-law. He gave me compatibility. He gave me so much in that one box of giving me my husband. And to speak on that, just to take it a little step further, my mother-in-law, let me tell y'all something about my mother-in-law. my mother passed away when I was 19, in 1985. And as I said before, I've been married 3 times. And my first mother-in-law, our relationship wasn't the best. My second mother-in-law, she was a sweet woman. But I've never ever felt that motherly love, that feeling, that thing I had inside of me of missing my mother until this mother-in-law. When I tell you, and she is a God-fearing woman, she is a nurturing mother, and she just gives me that thing. I can't even explain it, that I was missing when my mother passed away at 19. I finally found it. My mother, I don't even feel like mother-in-law is the right word. She is my mother too. You know, God has filled that hole.
Wouldn't that be incest?
You know what? God has filled that void, that hole in me through her. So he didn't just give me the perfect husband. He gave me a lot of other things along with it, you know.
And that right there, not to cut you off, but I needed to jump in. But that right there is what you get when you wait and you depend on God.
Baby. Yes.
You don't just get the person.
Yes.
You get the person. You get a beautiful soul.
Yes.
You get comfort.
Yes.
You get compatibility. You get all of these things that you've looked for in 17 different people, because you had to rock with that one for this thing. You had to rock with that one for this thing. You had to rock with this one for conversation. You had to rock with that one for money. You understand what I'm saying? He takes all of those and put them in one, and you get the perfect one for you.
Exactly.
Because when God molds when he molds a mold, when he breaks that mold, there will never, ever, ever be another one like you. That's it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. And when he makes it perfect for you. He makes it fit your soul, your spirit, You understand? It's a perfect fit for you, because at the end of the day, whether we think we know ourselves or not, God knows us before we know us. You understand? So he's gonna, when you ask and he says, okay, I'm gonna give you that, he's giving you a part of you in another person. He's giving you the fulfillment of, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say he's giving you a complete you. He's giving you a complete you. You're whole to a certain extent without that other person. I was whole before. No, I wasn't whole before me and Terry. Because if I was whole before me and Terry, then I wouldn't have had 2 other marriages. You understand? So that I'm gonna say that right now. I wasn't whole before I met my wife. Now, before my wife that I have sitting right next to me right now, I was not whole before that. Because had I been, we would have never met. You understand? But God made it so that I had to prepare myself. I had to get ready for the one. He helped me prepare myself by trials and tribulations that I went through. He took me through this road. He took me through that road. He took me up these stairs, took me around the back alley. All of those things. He took me through all of those things to see that, man, this ain't it yet. This ain't it. This ain't it. And here I am. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. At 51 years old in my life, I have the one. I have the one. And the one that I have is completing who I am. She completes me. Period. And you know what? I thought that was like a corny cliche thing that people used to say when you watch movies like Jane Fonda and, you know what I'm saying, Robert Redford, and they be like, oh, you complete me. I thought that was like, you know, like
you had me a hello.
Yeah, and all of that type of stuff, right? But to keep it a bill with you, like, that's really what happens. Like that really happens. Like I'm complete. I'm whole. And without her, I'll be half again.
And another thing is, you had asked me, how do you know it's the one? You know, when God is in there, God is not a God of doubt or fear or anything, or confusion. So, you know, there's no question, there's no doubt when you know, like with me and him, because it was a world when everybody was like, why y'all getting married so quick? You know, why don't y'all wait? It's like, we're sure. We know. God said it. You know, we just went and do it. There was no, if you're with somebody and you got the question, well, you know, I'm not sure, or he doesn't do this, or maybe I should. That's not of God. Because God is not of confusion. God makes it very clear.
That's right.
When it is the right one. There is no question. There is no doubt. There was no question and no doubt. We already knew we did it. That's it.
And you know what's crazy? Because I said to my wife a few times, I said, you think we moving too fast? And you know what she said? No. What are we waiting for? If you know that you know, this was her favorite thing, and she still say this. When you know that you know that you know that you know, and y'all go ahead back and look at some of the other Hatchett Chronicles from last year. You know, y'all keep it. You'll hear her say that and several of our. When you know that you know that you know that you know, you know. That's I got that from my wife. She got that from her right here. But
I can't. It's true, but you know what?
When you know, you know.
That's funny because he said he got that from me. But you know where it really comes from? It comes from him in bringing me closer, getting a closer relationship with God. Because of him, I developed a closer relationship with God because of the fact that he would say to me all the time, well, pray on it. He gave me that gumption to pray on it, to go to God. And God continuously talked to me and told me, this, that, and that. And it was like I started to listen. God talked to me before, but I wasn't listening before. I started to listen to him.
And you know what? That's really, I don't want to take credit for that, but I can take credit for that because God used me as a vessel.
Exactly. That's the point. God used you as a vessel. I'm not saying that my husband is above God. Let me be clear, people.
Right. No.
What I'm saying is that through God,
through me, God talks.
Yeah. God, because God will use people.
Yeah.
So that goes back to him giving me a gift. He gave me a gift. He knew how to get to me. He gave me the gift. He gave me the tool to be able to get closer to him, to be able to open up the pathway for me to follow his path.
Open that door.
Yeah, open that door. And he said, this is the tool that I'm going to give you. For you to be a part of me. So that is how I know. And this is, like I said, this is all I talked about this in my book, The Power of God. Being at this level. And the last chapter of my book is called After the Bent Knees, because so many of us.
You're giving away too much.
Okay, well, I just want to say this part.
Baby.
Okay, but let me just say this part. They're going to know
the whole book.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because you got to read the book to really understand what I'm saying. But so many people feel like, okay, once you pray for something and you get the gift, then life is perfect.
No.
It don't work that way. No. I just want to say, it does not work that way. Because we have had some of my biggest challenges has been through walking with my husband, and it hasn't been like with me and him, but things that we've had
circumstances.
Yeah, we've had to go through, and at some point it's been like, wow, I've never had to deal with this before. But the reason why I can deal with it on a smoother level is because I was walking with him. The gift that God gave me, the tool that God gave me, and God. I knew to go through God to get it. I knew, okay, well, God, how do we handle this? How do we walk through this? Give us what it takes for us to walk through this.
You said that, and I say this all the time. And I say this all the time when I'm speaking on certain things. You can ask God for whatever you want to ask for. You can say, God, give me a house. God, give me a house. God, give me a house.
Okay.
God, give me a house. Okay, you got a house, but at the same time.
Valerie is on. My sister is on. She said she wrote a question, but I ain't see it. Lord, I didn't move down. Oh my God, it's a bunch of people. What is the one? There could be multiple ones. Okay, so I see it, Valerie. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Love means different things at different stages of your life. Maturing in your relationship with God starts by looking inside, finding out how to begin loving yourself.
If you don't love yourself, you'll never have what you need in a relationship with a person or God.
Oh, and she asked another question. My sister asked, did you feel fully prepared? Is that for me or him? Well, for me, I did, Valerie. I felt fully, like you came to me and you said to me when I told you, because you were one of the people that I was afraid to tell because I knew you knew me well. Right. And I thought that you would think, okay, here she go again, flying off the handle like she always do. But you said to me, okay, well, stand in. If this is what you feel, or you just got to stand it, and more power to you. For some reason, once I went down on my knees to God and I talked to God about it, I knew. I knew because that was my first time having a conversation with God about a man. So I was fully prepared to him. Like I said to you, I said, yeah, I'll tell him. I don't care what people think because this is it. I knew that was it. Now, yes, it was a whirlwind for me because when I think back on it, it was like, what is happening? This man, I'm marrying him. What is going on? But I took that to God. It was like, Lord. And up until I got married, I was always on my knees saying, God, if this ain't right, if this ain't what I'm your wayward child. You got to give me big signs. And so God led me. God kept leading me. And that's why you have to know yourself inside. You have to be prepared. And that's also why we probably don't think marriage is hard work because we were kind of prepared within ourselves.
When you prepare yourself, when you prepare yourself, how you prepare yourself, I should say, is by asking those questions that you need to know about that next person. Hey, listen, do you have a 401k? Is that hair yours or did you put it on layaway?
When you die, can you bury you?
When you get angry, do you break things?
I need to know. I want to see what you look like when you get mad.
Right. Is that hat that you have on, when you take it off, is the hair attached to it? Do you have a baldy?
And we laugh, but we really did ask each other this question.
Like, you know what? It sounds funny. It's great for conversation, but at the same time, it's very important that you can ask those questions because it's all right to want what you want. It's all right to feel like you deserve to have what you like or what you want. It's okay for that. It's all right. That's all right. You deserve to have happiness. You deserve to have things that are good for you. You deserve that. So to ask those questions is a part of preparing yourself for who you have. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, man, we asked each other every question we could possibly ask. And to today, this is the happiest I've ever been happiest I've ever been in a relationship in my entire life. I've never been this happy in a relationship ever. Ever.
And Valerie, you said maturing in your relationship with God starts by looking inside yourself. Yes, that's the point of being prepared of D1. If you don't know yourself, like you said in your live feed the other week, if you don't know yourself and what's inside of you and love yourself, you can't possibly be ready for the one. Whoever that may be. You have to know yourself inside. And again, that's maybe why when people say marriage is hard work, we don't feel like it's hard work only because we were at that point where God had already prepared us. We had matured to the point with God that we were sure.
You know something? I'm going to tell y'all like this. To me, the work in this relationship is for me to just wake up when God wakes me up. My work is to keep this relationship in my heart and love it and cherish it. That's my work. You understand? That's what.
Hey, Bird.
Bird, what's happening? That's what work in a marriage is to me. Is to just fall in love with my wife every day. That's what my work is. That's what takes the most out of me. But at the same time, what is taken out of me is still a beautiful thing because this is all I have to give. You understand? So this is everything that I'm given. I'm given of me. And this is who I am, and that's how I am. So is that really work? So my work is just to be myself with you. You understand what I mean? I just have to be myself. Because I give love, I give respect, right? I cherish your character. You know what I'm saying? When you say things to me, I listen. I don't I don't ear pop. Ear pop.
And that is so important.
Pop off.
Let me just say this. I said this to my husband this morning. My husband always keeps his promises to me. Now, that might not be a need for nobody else. This is just my needs. That's a part of my needs. One of my needs is that if you tell me you're going to do something, please do it. Because I'm not going to keep after you. I'm not going to keep reminding you of it or saying it to you, because I just feel like that if you don't, when I asked the first time, if you don't do it, you must then want to do it. And I leave it alone and I let it go. But my husband will, even regardless of what, he always makes me feel like I'm priority in his life. And that's important to me, you know. But everybody don't have that, like there was a certain situation yesterday and I asked for, I'm not going to go into it, but I asked him a question. Or I didn't even ask him the question. He came to me and he said, I'm acknowledging what you said, and I know that you wanted this for 2 days, and I just want you to know that I'm not ignoring you. I got you. And so I never thought twice about it. It was like, okay, well, he had a long day. He was busy. We had company. He was hurting. He was recording. He was going through. He was busy. So for me, it was like I understood that. It wasn't no big deal. But he still found that time to handle my question or to deal with what I needed at the time. And it was like I woke up this morning and I thought about it, and I was like, gosh, because for me it was like you were so busy. I didn't even really expect you to handle that, because I understood that you was going through a lot. You was plus you was in pain, but you still handled that for me. And I appreciate that, you not only acknowledge that you heard me, but you followed through with it because you said you would. And so that was important to me. And that's about a mature relationship, one. It's also about, I guess I should say, our type of work that we put on. That's the work that we put in. If you want to call it hard work, then that's what it is. Right. But for us, it's not hard work.
I love you too, Margaret. Okay. Y'all check out I can't see it from
y'all check out. This is from my sister Valerie. It said, y'all check out my upcoming event, Mask Down, Rise Up. We gonna dive deep into the process of healing women. And that's important. One of the reasons why
I know how to heal y'all all right.
Whatever. See, that's your brother-in-law, okay? One of the reasons why this Hatchett Chronicles, I say this all the time, was important to me, is because there is so much going on in the world. So much. And for me, it's as simple as love. Loving self, loving your partner, loving God first. And I wanted to do this just to spread some love, because if you notice, a lot of times we talk about relationships and we talk about love, and we don't deal with like politics all the time or this issue. That comes into play sometimes, but most of the time we're dealing with love and relationship. And the reason being is because that's what God put on my heart to do. If we could help somebody find love or be in a better relationship, then I would feel successful. For me, Hatchett Chronicles is all about loving self as a woman, loving self as a man, loving self in the relationship to improve or to Begin.
You know what it is? For me, in the beginning, this is something that I didn't want to do because I don't really like being on the camera and all of that stuff. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard this story before, but it was just something that she wanted, and she asked me to do it with her. So I agreed. And in the beginning, I was really not. I really wasn't feeling doing this thing, but this is something that makes my wife happy. And if it makes my wife happy, I'm going to jump in with both feet, 2 arms, my head, my elbows, and everything. See that thing that she's doing right there, that smile on her face? That makes me happier than I can ever be in life. That smile tells me everything. So
Melly said he didn't act like that until that woman rubbed off on him. Whatever.
Now, you know what? I tried to give her back on Christmas, and he said I couldn't return no gifts or nothing like that, so I had to keep it. So I went to the man upstairs, my father, so I could deal with it in the correct way. And we didn't, boy, listen, boy, you wait till Saturday. You hear me? Wait.
Oh, yeah, we're on for Saturday or Sunday. You need to call me and let me know which day.
What we're going to do and stuff like that. But, where was I? Because she crazy.
Oh, no, yeah.
I lost my train of thought dealing with Valerie. And this is a live feed, sis. You really did this to me?
You was talking about, I know. You was talking about why you're doing the face. We were talking about why.
Right. Why I'm doing this thing is because it's something that she loves. And I have to support it. So that's what I'm doing.
Margaret said, happy wife, happy life. That's right.
That's right. So
it's called compromising.
Exactly. And that's what I do all the time. I compromise all the time. And she does too. So with that being said, as long as, I keep her happy, I'm going to be happy. As long as she keeps me happy, she'll be happy. I believe that with God, everything is possible.
Amen.
Point blank, period. That's what I believe. With God, everything is possible. Everything. He's a miracle worker.
Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
Jesus.
Amen.
Boy, y'all get me started.
Listen.
I know. Man,
when I tell you,
Jesus. God is,
we are here today at this moment
because of
him.
What he said.
Yes, Lord. When I tell you that and for those that know me, my sister can be a witness. I am crazy, okay? I am a basket case. I'm here, I'm there, always been, probably always will be. But now, these days, I'm a little calmer because I do not make a step. I do not make a move. I do not breathe unless God says it's okay. Do you hear me? Unless God says it's okay. Because I know that I know that I know.
There it is.
My very existence is because of him.
Amen.
I know that I would not be sitting here talking. I would not have woke up this morning if it was not for him on my side.
Hallelujah.
And he done brought me, which is also in my book, that's why it's called The Power of God, a mighty, mighty long way. He saved the rich like me. When I tell you that, trust me.
You know what? Compromising in a relationship is a beautiful thing. And
yes, he is a promise keeper. Yes, he is.
And
yes, cuz I hear you.
Here's my thing. I decided to do this with you because I knew it would be happy, right? You would be happy. It makes me happy now to even want to think of a topic that we can do because I've gotten into it just as much as you have because my heart is in the same place as yours. Mm-hmm. We use this platform as a testimony. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's my testimony to love, and it's your testimony to love. It's your testimony to relationships that you've been in. It's my testimony to relationships that I've been in. So for us to go through those roads on your end and on my end and be able to come together as we are now, it's a testimony and it's a help for those out there who may go through these kind of things. And we really didn't know that was what God had planned for it. You just said that God has put something on your heart and this is something that you would like to do. And look what it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because God don't always tell you. He don't always give you the full plan.
Thank you, Jesus.
But
that's right.
It's faith. When you walk by
faith and not by sight.
Yeah, not by sight. Because of the fact that sometimes he'll tell you to do stuff and you'll be like, for what? Why I have to do it? I want to do that. Like my book. As I said, I'm not into writing. I'm in the entertainment business. I manage artists. I do this. And God woke me up 3:30 in the morning and told me he wanted me to write this book. My answer to that was, okay, well, when I wake up, I'll write this down. And when I tell you he stayed on me, he got me up 3:30 in the morning, and and my computer wasn't working at the time, my laptop wasn't working. I had to go in the studio to use my husband's laptop, and I was mad. I'll be honest with y'all, I was pissed off because I was like, I don't want to do this. I ain't no writer. I don't want to write no book. And then
not to mention I keep the AC on.
Yeah, and it was cold. Yeah, I don't do cold. And so I was sitting up there mad, pouting. And then I calmed down and I was like, okay, God, well, if you want me to do this, you got to direct me because I don't know what I'm doing. So you just direct me and I'll do what you tell me to do. And when I tell you he directed my every step for this book, even down to the people who were supposed to edit it, everything. You know, shout out to my sister Valerie, shout out to my sis Audrey, because they were my backbone, you know, and right, both of them are authors. They are real authors.
Shout out to Catrice too.
Catrice, you know.
Catrice sat here and listened to all your.
Yeah, and I mean they supported me, and I wasn't supposed to, you know. It was like, write this book, don't tell nobody. And he led me to the people that I could say something to.
Right, that was going to help you with
that was going to help me with the book.
Right.
And that's what they did. And so when I say that, you know, so God don't all the time give you the full picture. He tests you and tell you to do something. Right. And it's up to you to have that faith in him, faith of a mustard seed, and follow him. It's just like with our marriage. You know, and with knowing that he was the one, and I know him knowing that I was the one, we trusted God. According against all oppositions, against everything, we knew because we followed God. You know, regardless of what I said this last week too. We didn't look at what it looked like. We closed our eyes and listened to what God said it was going to be. And that's what you have to do. You know, you have to trust God.
That's right.
In all that you do.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So I want to say this real quick because we're going to close out in a minute. I want to just shout out to everybody that supported me and our family through this trying situation of losing my sister. I can't hit everybody one by one. That's a lot of people. I just want to say I thank everybody that was there for me, everybody that's been there for my family. This is a very hard thing that, you know, we had to deal with. And I just feel like I needed to say that because there's some people that I don't even have their numbers, but they contacted me just to, you know, show me support. So I thank all of y'all for the support and the love and all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. I know that was kind of off the topic, but at the same time, it was on my heart and God put it on my heart. So I had to speak that. And I appreciate y'all. And with that being said, I just saw Uncle Eddie on there. That's your
my favorite uncle. You did? Where I didn't see him.
Yeah, go up a little bit. Go up a little bit. Uncle Eddie joined in. I just didn't have a chance to say, hey, Uncle Eddie, because we was talking.
I didn't see it, but Uncle Eddie, you know you're my favorite uncle now, right? And we're sorry we didn't get to see you, but when we come back,
come over and see
because I let me tell you, I was mad about that thing because I kept bugging my husband. Was like, I want to go, and plus he was in pain. He had got in pain, and he was on his legs a lot. But I was mad about that thing because I was like, I want to go see my Uncle Eddie.
Well, we're gonna close out. Are there if you guys have any questions, any topics, anything that you'd like to talk about, any questions about any of the shows that any of the episodes you see, even if it's an episode we did last year, if you happen to go through our page and see something that tweaks your psyche and you want to know something,
which is on the Hatchett Chronicles page,
right,
guys. We just moved to his page because we were having problems,
some difficulties
with that
with the Hatchett Chronicles page. We are going back to it, but for now, we'll just be broadcasting from my page.
Yeah, and so you can always go and like the page and join Hatchett Chronicles, so that when we move back, you will already be joined on that page.
Right, and these two, I'm gonna take these not just from my book, but take it off my page and upload it on the Hatchett Chronicles too. So if you don't see it on my page, you can go to her page, this page, or the Hatchett Chronicles, and you'll get the whole video and everything. So with that being said, I love you guys, man.
God bless you too, cousin.
Hey, Kiana, God bless, baby.
Also, I just want to once again thank you for the support of the Hatchett Chronicles, and we are, as you can see, we're trying to be more consistent with the Hatchett Chronicles. One of the things that which is next season, next Sunday, next episode's topic is what was it? I forgot, baby.
Don't mess with God's plan.
Yeah, don't mess with God's plan. Thank you. I forgot. Y'all, I told y'all.
You're always getting on me about you need to have a topic.
Well, that was his topic.
Hold up. But this is what goes on behind the scenes. And we're not on the camera, you know what I'm saying?
Anyway.
You know what I would like to do?
What?
I would like to have some of our viewers send us a topic.
Yes, we asked that before in season 1, but please send us.
Somebody did send us a topic.
Yeah, a couple of people.
Yeah, we did a couple. Yeah, we sure did.
So please send it. If there's a topic you guys want to touch on, send it to us. We will definitely put that in our season. In our episodes. We want to be more consistent, so we're trying to do this every Sunday to be more consistent, and we appreciate. We started Hatchett Chronicles as a test to see where it went, and I am we're blessed, and thank you so much, because this has this has gone far beyond what I could imagine, but that's God. That's how God works. Thank you, Lord.
One Chronicles was what, 13,000?
It was 13,000. It was real high. Yeah, it was like 1.2 views or something like that. We
did a Hatchett Chronicles that reached 13,000 listeners, viewers, and everything. And it was part of it was in Kenya and
that one
somewhere else.
went.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, so we appreciate the support, and like we said, if there's a topic you want to touch on, just, hit my page, his page, the Hatchett Chronicle
Just
page, inbox us and let us know, and we definitely will bring that out for you guys, and we'll talk about it. God
loving you
is
too,
so
Kiana.
good. Yeah, we love you. I love my family. I love my extended family. I'm just
too. I love mine too, man.
I am just so appreciative to you guys and love you guys so much. If you guys don't know it, or I've never said it, or you don't know what's on my heart and mind, let me tell you, the Hatchets, that whole crew, whether you're Hatchet, Lynn, White, Bowles, whatever you are, I love you guys because you guys are just, y'all warm my heart. I really do. I'm so happy that my in-laws are my extended family is just wonderful, beautiful, God-fearing people. So
it took a lot to get there.
Yeah, I'm loving you guys.
Okay.
So we appreciate y'all. We appreciate the time. We hope this subject was of interest to y'all. Val, thanks for letting me know about the not scrolling down to answer the questions. Your sister's crazy.
Another thing too, y'all could just keep up with my page, her page, the Hatchett Chronicle page.
Hey Timothy.
Tim, what's up, baby? What's good, cuz? You can follow us too for like updates on a lot of the music and stuff that we got going on too.
Oh yeah, I have artists coming out.
Got the label going on now.
We got the label going on. As I said before, I have a book coming out. Please look for it. The Power of God. My husband is doing
the Beats and Bars mixtape coming.
Yeah.
I got the
if you need beats, you need whatever,
I got the mixtape with Trigger Gambler coming up.
Recordings.
I got the Cannabis Soul project coming up. I got a lot of stuff set up right now.
I'm working with a major artist, Sabrina Johnston, Peace in the Valley. Right. She is now my artist,
we got an artist
that I manage.
Delton.
Yeah. Delroy. Don't say Delton.
Oh, pardon me.
Delroy.
Delroy. Yeah.
Is my new artist. His CD dropped his single dropped on the 7th of September.
You can go on any stream site and pick it up right now.
Yeah.
Please go support that.
You Got Me. It's called.
You Got Me is the name of the single, and I'm telling you, the joint is crazy. Not because he's our artist, because
he's very talented. Music. Yeah, he's a very talented young artist.
Music.
And look out for Sabrina Johnston's comeback. Support her. She has a GoFundMe supporting her comeback. We are trying to get in the studio with her she's already got a song that kind of ready to go, and my husband did some music for her, so it's just a matter of trying to get her back up and bringing her back. Her voice is out of this world. When I tell y'all, if y'all want to look her up, Sabrina Johnston, there's Peace in the Valley, there's Friendship. Yeah, Google her. She was bad back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and she want to come back, and her voice, trust me, is still the same. It's still great. Yeah, so we're trying to bring her back, and usually I don't deal with major artists, but she's actually fam, y'all, so she kind of bullied me, so and plus she's talented, so I don't mind working with her. But I have a lot of up and coming new artists that's out there just awesome. So just look out for my artists coming out. We're dropping some of their music, putting it in rotation. My sons, Elijah and Frankie, look out for their single.
Definition of a Gangster.
Yes, I'm getting ready to drop that for them, and
we got Marquis single we getting ready to drop
and
too.
Marquis, his single. That's another one of my artists.
The Way I Was Raised.
Yeah.
So Mama joint. We still haven't figured it out yet. But.
So keep up with us. Look out for our stuff.
And we'll keep up with y'all and look out for y'all stuff. And we thank y'all for joining in.
And we'd love to give y'all shout outs for stuff that y'all are doing too. We support. We believe in supporting each other, you know.
Timothy X Davis 7. Check out his page. He got a lot of good music going on. That's my cuz. And listen, man, we here. Let's support each other. Let's keep it going. We appreciate y'all watching and joining in. And this is GL, aka Frank Hatchett.
I am Terry T, aka T Hatchett.
And I'm out.
We out.
This has been the Hatchett Chronicles. Peace. We love y'all.